150 years, Elmhurst College prepared students for lives of meaning and success. Today, as Elmhurst University, we're carrying on that proud legacy. A beautiful campus just 30 minutes from downtown Chicago. Small classes where you'll get to know your professors. And top-ranked majors and graduate programs that will open the door to the career of your dreams. As we celebrate a new name for our institution in an ever-changing world, our values and spirit remain the same. Welcome to Elmhurst University.
From R.A. Fagenal Hall on the campus of Elmhurst University, Blue Jay TV welcomes you to this broadcast of College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin women's basketball. This afternoon's game pits the homestanding Blue Jays of Elmhurst University against the visiting Vikings of North Park University. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Gregory Sager here to bring you all the action. This is a battle of two teams that have struggled this season. The Blue Jays currently inhabiting ninth and last place in the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin with a record of 1-12 in league play, 3-18 overall. They have been eliminated from any chance of making the six-team CCIW postseason tournament. North Park, on the other hand, has CCI tournament hopes that are hanging by a thread. The Vikings are in seventh place with a 3-10 record in league play. The Vikings 7-15 overall. The Vikings essentially need to win out in their final three games of the regular season and then get some help in order to catch sixth place Carthage. The Vikings, however, are in the midst of an 8-game losing streak. In fact, the last game that the Vikings won was in Chicago back on January 7th when they beat these same Elmhurst Blue Jays 53-41, and that was for Elmhurst part of an 8-game losing streak of their own, but they snapped that this past Saturday by traveling to Murner Fieldhouse in Naperville and defeating host North Central 75-62. But since then, the Blue Jays have fallen back as they were handled pretty easily here at Fagenal Hall on Wednesday by Carroll, which is the second place team in the league. North Park this past Wednesday played their home finale. It was a tough loss to Wheaton, 56-49, a game in which the Vikings had a late 47-40 lead and coughed it up and ended up on the short side of the ledger for the 8th straight time. The Blue Jays are paced by their Do Everything Graduate Student Center, Taylor Harrison. She's averaging 14.5 points per game, and she is among the leaders in CCIW play, averaging just under 14 per game. And she is matched in that category by the Vikings' leading scorer, transfer Victoria Perry, the junior guard, is averaging just under 14 points a game in league play for the Vikings. This will be a low-scoring game in all likelihood. These two teams are at the bottom of the league in terms of offensive output. North Park averaging just under 53 points a game, and Elmhurst averaging just under 49 points a game. But sometimes you get a game like this with two teams that really, for all intents and purposes, have nothing to lose, and you end up getting sometimes the best game you see all season. So we may get that tonight. We'll have to wait and see as we get set for the introduction to today's starting lineups and the national anthem. Our officials for this afternoon's contest: Britt White, Stacey Majkrowski, and Johnny Jackson.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to RMA Festival Hall for Game 1 of the CCIW basketball doubleheader featuring North Park University Vikings and your Elmhurst University Blue Jays. Before today's game, we would like to recognize Elmhurst women's basketball legend Lindsay Long. The most prolific leader in program history, Long is Elmhurst's all-time leading scorer with 1,866 points across her 4-year career, which ran from 2006 to 2010. Long holds the records for most points, most field goals made, and 3-point field goals made in the game, tallying 45 points, 16 field goals, and 8 threes in the game against Carthage on February 10, 2010. Her name also appears atop the record book for most 3-point field goals in her career with 170, best 3-point shooting percentage in program history at 38.8, and her free throw percentage being 4.2, also ranks first. Lindsay has continued to be involved in basketball, and today is joined by her team from Downers Grove South High School. They are out there at center court. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together once again for Lindsay Long. Before we begin today's contest, we ask all of you who are willing and able to please stand and face the flag as we honor America for playing our national anthem.
And there you have the starting lineups for this afternoon's contest. Vikings wearing the road black with gold numbers and trim. The Blue Jays wearing the home whites with numbers and trim in Columbia blue and navy blue. The keys to this afternoon's game is what goes on in the low post. As I mentioned, Taylor Harrison is the star for this Elmhurst team, and the Vikings severely undersized, the smallest team in the league. They don't have anybody who can match up with her physically, but Esther Miller, one of the better defenders in the league, in fact leads the league in steals and is in the top 30 in the nation in steals. So it's size versus quickness in the low post as Harrison wins the opening tip, and Elmhurst has the ball first. This is Anna Klaczynski on the right wing, up top to Novak. Back it comes to Kendall Sheppy, and we're going to have an offensive foul called right off the bat. And that is on Klaczynski. Illegal screen is her first foul. Team foul number 1 for Elmhurst here in the first quarter. Ball brought up the floor by Victoria Perry. It's Catherine Keene, the freshman out of Prospect High. Ball swung around, and Perry unable to gain the corner, gives it to Sundin. Back out to Perry. Perry probing. This will be a three-pointer attempted by Hairston, and Chantal Hairston draws first blood for the Vikings with a triple. 3-0 NPU with 9:18 to go. The Vikings showing press, and we have a double dribble call. Blue Jays having trouble negotiating that press. North Park will press on occasion. For those of you who will be watching the North Park men and the Elmhurst men later, the North Park men famously press the whole game, but the North Park women just do it on occasion here. But that time effective, and then the Vikings throw the ball away as Victoria Perry was expecting an upcut from Catherine Keene. Instead, she cut down. The Vikings again showing that triangle press, and Elmhurst breaks it by having Sheppy come out to handle the ball at midcourt. In the high post, this is Harrison. And she can't get it to go. Got her rebound for a moment, and then Hairston took it away. And that is Esther Miller being tripped up on her way down the lane. That foul will be called. This is Sundin. Didn't see who the foul was called on. Sundin misses badly on the three-point attempt. Rebounded by Klaczynski. It was called on Matrice, her first, team second. This is Matrice driving the lane. Matrice fouled going up. She'll be going to the line for a pair. That's Esther Miller picking up the foul. Miller is prone to foul trouble, and Vikings have to do whatever they can do to keep her from taking herself out of the game, as That free throw missed by Matrice. Second one is good. North Park 3, Elmhurst 1, 8:17 to go here in the first quarter. Hairston. This is Perry on the left wing. Perry back up top. Miller swings it around to Hairston. At the top, Catherine Keene with it. Looking for the high-low, and there's a block by Harrison on the layup attempt by Miller. Blue Jays come away with the ball. Matrice hands the ball to Klaczynski. Looking in is Novak. This is going to be kicked back out. The deep three attempted. No good for Sheppy, rebounded by the Vikings. Another three attempted, and that one rimmed out for Sundin. So the freshman from Oslo, Norway, 0 for 2 here from downtown in the early going. Pass into the post, turnaround, basket. Harrison, they're tied at 3. It's 7:14 to go here in the first quarter. Up top, this is Sundin with it, handing it off to Perry. Perry for 3. And got it. Vikings 6 points on a pair of threes here in the early going. 3 minutes deep into the first quarter. North Park 6, Elmhurst 3. Klaczynski gets it over the timeline with about a second to spare. This is Klaczynski from the corner, and she buries the triple. Tied again, this time at 6. Pass up the floor. And there's transition layup for Esther Miller. Great job by Keene to look up the floor after the made Elmhurst basket, and the Vikings swarming Sheppy at midcourt. And the ball out of bounds off of Elmhurst. So the Vikings press. Good for a couple Elmhurst turnovers here in the early going of this ball game. This is Sundin on the right wing. Pass underneath. Turnaround off the glass. Rolled out for Esther Miller. Last touched by Hairston. It will be Elmhurst ball. North Park 8, Elmhurst 6. Klaczynski back to Novak, and it gets over the timeline. This is Novak. We have a whistle with a foul coming up on North Park. It's a hold on Sundin, her first, team 4th, so she will exit. And Alicia Dunlap, number 0, into the game now for North Park. Pass comes into Klaczynski at the top of the key, and she airballs a runner from the baseline, rebounded by Keene. Hairston back to Dunlap. Her floater no good. Rebounded by Harrison. Quick outlet to Klaczynski. She'll slow it up, wait for her teammates to catch up with her. Kicked out to Klaczynski. Harrison in the high post. Back out the three-point attempt, no good for Matrice. Vikings rebound, looking to attack again, and another swat from Harrison, that time on the layup attempt by Perry in transition. Taylor Harrison, the grad student out of Aurora Catholic, showing out here in the first quarter for the Blue Jays. Three-pointer knocked down by Victoria Perry. And the Vikings lead. Now they're going to call it a deep 2, 10-6 now the score. This is Matrice handing the ball off to Sheppy. Back to Matrice, looking into the post. Harrison off the glass and in. Vikings doubling her up to no avail. And the score 10-8 now in favor of the Vikings as Keene brings the ball up the floor. This is Hairston. They're going to let her attempt a three, and she airballs it. They dared her, and it paid off for the Blue Jays. Timeout on the floor. We've got 4:41 to go here in the first quarter. The score, North Park 10 and Elmhurst 8. Coming out of the timeout, Vikings with Dunlap, Miller, Keene, Harrison, and Perry on the floor for the Blue Jays. It is Sheppy, Harrison, Klaczynski, Novak, and Matrice. So the starter's still out on the floor for the Blue Jays. This is Matrice with it. Skip pass, three-pointer attempted by Novak off the front of the rim, rebounded by Victoria Perry. Perry looking for the run out, but Keene will slow it up, gives it to the secondary breaker, Dunlap, who left the layup short, and it's rebounded by Matrice. Klaczynski, nice job of getting that pass into Harris, and the Vikings fronting the post, but perfectly fed by Klaczynski. And Harrison to the line. Hits the first free throw. And the second as well. We're tied at 10. This is Perry with it on the right elbow. And the ball taken away by Kendall Sheppy. And floated into the post on the, after the inbound. That lob knocked out of bounds by Esther Miller. So the Blue Jays will inbound from underneath the basket. Barely got that off before the 5-second call, and a nice job of throwing it in off the window by Lindsay Novak, and Elmhurst takes a 12-10 lead here with 3:23 to go in the first quarter. Miller. And that ball kicked out by Dunlap and almost taken away by Elmhurst, but recovered by Miller. Hairston drives the lane, and we have a foul whistled. And it is on Harrison. That is her first. Leah Parker Fox on the floor now for North Park, number, let's see what number she's wearing today, 24. First free throw is good for Chantal Hairston. Also into the game now, number 24, Jackie Hurst for the Blue Jays. Second one, likewise good. 12-12 is our score here with 3:10 to go in the quarter. Hairston comes out. Lauren McKnight, number 34, on the floor now for North Park. This is Klaczynski. Turnaround in the lane. Got it and one. Usually when you see a turnaround jumper and one, it's because there was contact before the turnaround. This time the contact came afterwards, and it was on McKnight, her first. And the three-point play will make it 15-12 in favor of the Blue Jays as we go into the 3-minute mark of the first quarter. Parker Fox up top. This is Dunlap. Swung around to McKnight. Perry with it. Perry thought about driving. She's cut off and then traveled after the hesitation. Novak brings the ball over the timeline. The Blue Jays looking to consolidate their 3-point lead here. Sheppy over to Novak on the drive. This is Hurst, who lost the ball going up, and it's taken away by Parker Fox quickly up the floor. Perry lets Klaczynski go by her and then makes the easy layup after the feed from Miller, and the game 15-14 now in favor of the Blue Jays. On the drive, Matrice back out to Hurst. Three-pointer attempted and sunk. Nicely done. Jab step from Sheppy, and then step back and hit the three. 18-14 is our score here with 1:53 to go in the quarter. Dunlap back out to Perry. Perry for three. Got it to go, and for Victoria Perry, that is her third three-pointer of the quarter. 18-17 now, Blue Jays lead with 1.5 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Sheppy, pass into the post for Hurst, and Hurst pushed Esther Miller to the deck. As Novak will exit, MC Brown, number 5, into the game now for the Blue Jays. The 5th team foul on the Blue Jays, so Miller will step to the line. Apparently it was not. It was only the 4th team foul. So they're going to take the ball out of Esther Miller's hand and walk back to the other end of the gymnasium and have the Vikings bring it up 94 feet. Up top, that's Dunlap hitting Miller in mid-cut, and it looked like the Blue Jays were going to take it away, but Hurst had her foot on the end line as she was throwing it back in bounds, so it will stay with the Vikings. And we had a shot clock reset there, and I thought Elmhurst head coach Tethany Carrillo might have been complaining about it, but no complaint, as we're going to get an offensive foul called. Illegal screen on Dunlap. That is Dunlap's 2nd foul. And the Blue Jays get the ball back, leading 18-17 with 1:10 to go here in the first quarter. Klaczynski. Pass down low to her. She traveled. Took a little double stutter step there. And she was backing in Miller. Miller will come to midcourt as the Blue Jays showed a 2-player press. Miller dribbling on the wing, back up top to Perry. Perry attempting another three. That heat check won't go, but Dunlap got the rebound. Dunlap can't get the putback, however. And then she tipped it out of bounds. The Blue Jays get it back, still hanging on to that 18-17 lead with under 40 seconds to go now in the quarter. Pass into the post, and Hurst fell down trying to Oh, did a nice job of throwing it from her back out to Sheppy. 10 left on the shot clock. On the drive, this is Matrice. She's fouled on a reach-in. And that is on Lauren McKnight, her second. Correction, it's on Aaliyah Parker-Fox. That's her first. So Matrice will shoot a pair. First one good. Subbing in for the Blue Jays, number 21, Marissa Lozado. Matrice's free throw, second verse, same as the first. 2017 Blue Jays lead. 20.8 seconds to go here in the quarter, so the shot clock turned off. As again, the two-player press put on by Elmhurst head coach Daphne Carrillo. And Parker-Fox brings it over the timeline. This is Miller with it. Miller drives the lane. Miller, scoop shot, no go, but she's fouled. Miller's first free throw is good. That foul is charged to Michaela Armstrong, who has just checked in for the Blue Jays, her first. Miller can't make the second, but we have a tie-up between Miller and Armstrong, and the ball will belong to the Blue Jays on the alternating possession with 6. No, it's not a tie-up. It is going to be called a foul. And that's Esther Miller's second, which is bad news for North Park head coach Annie Radenkovich in her first season at the helm. That'll put Armstrong at the line at the other end. She cans the first, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast. The Vikings, an undersized team, and Miller by far the most effective low post defender that they have, though undersized. She is very capable down there, and the Vikings are in trouble if she has to sit out for any length of time. But a three right at the buzzer by Perry, who had a heck of a first quarter for the Vikings. She drains the three. That is her fourth three-pointer of the Vikings' fourth three-pointer of the quarter, I should say. And we are at the quarter break. The score, Elmhurst 22, North Park 21.
You just might end up making the world a better place. But first, you have to discover who you are and what you can learn from others. To do that, you have to seek out teachers and mentors who will help you identify your goals and challenge you to go after them. Before you can do that, you have to find a community that welcomes and supports you. A place where you can learn, a place where you can thrive. Before you can do that, you must have motivation and desire to improve your mind, your soul, your circumstances. To ignite that desire, you must find your potential. We'll help you discover your potential once you discover us. Elmhurst University.
Checking some of the out-of-town scores, Augustana leads Carroll 25-17. 8:10 to go in the second quarter there. More scores in a moment. Vikings have first possession here in the second quarter, trailing by a point. This is Felicia Sundin to Victoria Perry, and we're going to have a hand check foul called on MC Brown. And for Brown, that is her first foul. First team foul on the Blue Jays here in the second quarter. Sundin with it. Sundin gives the ball to Hairston. Hairston hits a three-pointer. The Vikings looking sharp from downtown here in the opening half of this ball game. They have now taken a 24-22 lead. And nice job of lobbing it over the fronting double team and into Harrison. That time it was Klaczynski getting the assist on the Harrison layup as we're tied at 24. Sundin out to Hairston. Hairston fakes the three, gets into the lane, and her floater off the glass won't go. Rebounded by Lauren Lee, who's just checked in for the Vikings. And the Grant student gets the ball back out. Three-pointer attempted and knocked down by Felicia Sundin. North Park now 6 of 10 from downtown here in this ball game. 8:36 to go in the second quarter. And that lob into the post was off target, but it trickled into the hands of Klaczynski. And an answering three from the right elbow by Lindsay Novak, and we're tied again at 27. Three-pointer from the corner. Sundin can't hit it. Rebounded by Brown. Definitely seeing more offense than we expected out of both teams, as they're both shooting very well from downtown. And to further illustrate that, Klaczynski hits one from the top of the key, and the Blue Jays back in front 30-27 with under 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. Deep three attempted and bricked by Hairston. Rebounded on the weak side by Brown. This is Novak with it. At the top of the key, Harrison kicks it out. Klaczynski testing out the waters from beyond the arc again. This time she's off target, rebounded by Lee. Perry. Perry drives into the lane. Perry's floater is good. Victoria Perry makes it a 30-29 Elmhurst lead. Pass into the post again, and this time the foul is going to be on Lauren Lee, who is attempting to guard Harrison. That's the first on Lee. First team foul on the Vikings here in the second quarter. Ball inbounded from under the basket. And this is Harrison getting it in the corner. Pass back out to Brown. Brown drives, kicks it out. Brown gets the ball back from Atrice. Klaczynski looking underneath the basket, and Harrison hit the bottom of the rim with that layup attempt. She was in a little too deep, and the ball out of bounds off of her. It will be Vikings ball. Elmhurst 30, North Park 29, 6:43 to go here in the second quarter. Glad you joined us here this afternoon on Blue Jay TV for the CCIW women's basketball game. Three-pointer attempted and off the front of the rim for Lauren Lee, but rebounded out on the floor by Hairston. Sundin tries to turn the corner, gives the ball underneath to Keene. And the three-pointer knocked down by Perry. Perry puts North Park back out in front, 32-30. Perry and Hairston both in double figures for the Vikings already. And that lob into the post knocked away by Lauren Lee. So Elmhurst to inbound with 20 left on the shot clock. And that's a violation, inbound violation. Don't see that very often, but Lindsay Novak had her toes in the court as she inbounded that ball, so that's a turnover. Ball to the Vikings. Sundin thought about the three, steps in, and then throws a pass right into the hands of Novak, and then we're going to have a foul called on Keene. Trying to face guard Novak a little too closely. That's her first, team second. On the floor for the Vikings now for the first time. Maddie Schwemmer, number 23. And Kendall Sheppy back on the floor now for the Blue Jays. Three-pointer airballed, and Harrison put the rebound the wrong way through the cylinder, got the ball back, and got an and one. That foul is going to be called on Hairston, her second. And Harrison completes the three-point play. That'll put the Blue Jays back on top, 33-32, 5:29 to go here in the second quarter. Schwemmer. This is Keene. Skip pass to Schwemmer. Up top, Keene around to Perry. Open on the wing is Lee. Lee left it short. And we have a tie-up. Arrow favors the Blue Jays. Matrice to bring the ball up the floor. This is Sheppy. Harrison on the wing. Brown. Skip pass to Klaczynski. Now into the post it goes to Harrison. Missed the layup. Rebounded by Keene. Here come the Vikings the other way. Pass to Lee. Thought about the three. Instead, she's going to let Keene shoot from the top of the key, and Catherine Keene knocks it down. 35-30. 35-33, I should say, in favor of the Vikings. The Vikings, who are last in the CCIW in three-point shooting, have hit 7 of them tonight, and Elmhurst keeping pace from downtown as Matrice buries one to put the Blue Jays back in front, 36-35. Timeout on the floor. Elmhurst by 1 with 4:23 to go here in the second quarter. Looking at some other out-of-town scores. 5:27 to go in 3:01, I should say, to go in the second quarter at Tarbell Arena in Kenosha. And it is CCIW leader Milliken 35, Carthage 31. Milliken can clinch a share of the CCIW title with a victory over Carthage today. From Murner Fieldhouse in Naperville. Don't have a score to report yet from Illinois Wesleyan and North Central. And a further update from Van Male Gymnasium in Waukesha, where Augustana leads Carroll 38-34 with a minute 35 to go in the second quarter there. 36-35 is our score here. Elmhurst leading North Park. Perry brings the ball up the floor. Schwemmer back out to Perry. And the Blue Jays are in the 2-3 zone. Schwemmer can't get it to fall. Rebounded by Harrison. Matrice giving the ball to Klaczynski. Back to Matrice. And into the post it goes once again. Harrison is feasting in the blocks. This afternoon, she's already got 13 points. And that deep shot by the Vikings, bricked, rebounded by the Blue Jays. Matrice to Klaczynski. Klaczynski for three, got it to go. Anna Klaczynski heating up from downtown. That is her third three-pointer of the half. Pass into the post and almost knocked away, and not that time. It is knocked away by Perry. And we have a tie-up. It will belong to the Vikings on the alternating possession, but the shot clock stays at 15. Parker Fox and McKnight back on the floor for the Vikings, replacing Hairston and Lee. Perry tries to turn the corner, and we're going to have a hand check called on MC Brown. And that is her second. Team second. Parker Fox inbounds right through the hands of Victoria Perry and into the Elmhurst bench. So unforced turnover gives Elmhurst a chance to build upon the 6-point lead here as we go into the final 3 minutes of the first half. And this is Harrison again. Harrison has been double teamed the entire half, and it is not slowing her down at all. Taylor Harrison now is 6 for 10 from the field and has 17 points on the afternoon. As North Park's timeout comes with 2:50 remaining in the half. The score, Elmhurst 43 and North Park 35. Is in one of two. Blue Jays in double figures. Klaczynski, as I mentioned, has hit 3 3-pointers. She has 12 points for the Vikings. 2 players in double figures as well. Victoria Perry has 15. Chantel Hairston has 14. Aaliyah Parker Fox brings the ball up for the Vikings. This is Schwemmer to McKnight. McKnight passes into the corner, and it'll bounce up and down through the cylinder for Catherine Keene. 43-37 Blue Jays. Matrice kicks it out. 3 attempted and bricked by Brown, rebounded by Keene. Up the floor it comes to Parker Fox. Parker Fox to McKnight. Schwemmer for 3. Schwemmer is off. Rebounded by Schwemmer, got her own rebound, but couldn't put the putback in. And it's rebounded by Brown. This is Klaczynski working on Parker Fox. Skip pass goes into the coolers over by the North Park bench. So that turnover gives the ball back to North Park with 2:01 to go. The Vikings trail Elmhurst by 6 here. Parker Fox to Schwemmer. This is Perry into the corner for Keene. Back out to Parker Fox. Keene from the corner. Got it to go. That's a 2. And the Vikings cut the Blue Jay lead to 4. Matrice to Brown. And we're going to have a hand check foul on Schwemmer. That will be her first, team 4th. Schwemmer, one of a pair of Vikings freshmen out there, along with Catherine Keene. But what they say, this time of year, there's really No such thing as freshmen anymore, particularly if they have had extensive game experiences. Those two have. And that ball taken away by Perry. Perry down low. McKnight, this is Schwemmer for three. Schwemmer knocks it down. And the Vikings got the Elmhurst lead to 1. Up top, this is Brown for three. Brown can't get it to fall, but the rebound out on the floor goes to Armstrong. Deep three, barely grazed the rim by Klaczynski, rebounded by Perry. Perry back to McKnight. Schwemmer in the corner. This is Keene. Hits the cutter, and Parker Fox hits the layup to put North Park back in front as we go under a minute here in the first half. All alone on the right wing and hitting the three was Matrice. Great overload play by the Blue Jays. And the Vikings left Matrice open. She made them pay. Shot clock turned off. 11 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Perry to Schwemmer. Schwemmer back to Perry. Perry's going to have to manufacture something. And her three, no good. As the first half comes to a close. Very surprising. As I mentioned, these are the two lowest scoring teams in the league. Elmhurst averaging about 49 points in league play. North Park averaging about 53. They're at 46-44 here at the half. So we have a bit of a surprise here. And we're going to take a short break. And when I come back, I'll catch you up on the scores from around the league and give you the first half stats. You're watching North Park versus Elmhurst here on Blue Jays TV. Back with you in a few minutes.
We know that going to college is a huge investment. You put your trust and time in Elmhurst University, and we do the same. You invest in us, and we invest in you.
Your story begins as we welcome you to Elmhurst University. From your first day of orientation, our focus is getting you acclimated to college life and making you a part of the Elmhurst community.
Definitely Elmhurst was the one that I fell in love with. Right when you stepped on campus, it was a nice environment. It just felt like home.
The goal of first year seminar is to make the transition from high school to college as smooth as possible. It's an instantaneous way to have a niche at Elmhurst.
A lot of times there's that doubt that I don't know if I can make it here. I don't know if I'm meant to be here. I feel it is our role as an institution to get those doubts out of their mind the second they are on this campus.
Once you've started classes, our responsibility is to support you both personally and academically.
Your faculty and your staff who are here and committed to your success are going to be walking with you on that journey, providing both the challenge and the support for you along that way.
I changed my major about 5 times, and so I really needed someone there to help me through it, help me pick out new classes, to help me make sure that I graduate on time.
So they support us academically, but they're also interested in our lives as a whole individual. For example, when I was applying for the Fulbright, they were more than willing and super supportive.
Along with supporting you, our job is to make sure you challenge yourself in order to make the most of your experience.
When the students, especially in computer science, go out into related fields, they're going to be confronted with adapting to new environments, new technologies, and we try to challenge them in the classroom to adapt, to learn how to learn.
I've had teachers go to me and say, like, I think you'd be interested in research, so they introduced me to some professors, and I've been doing research now for 3 semesters. It taught me a lot about myself, definitely, and about the way I adapt to different situations.
I think we all learn best when we're a little bit scared, a little bit on the edge. I really believe that the things that are beyond the typical, experiencing undergraduate research, studying abroad, having a quality internship, some of those things are going to be most memorable and meaningful and really impactful for them.
As your academic journey at Elmhurst comes to an end, our relationship reaches a crucial point as we launch you into the next phase of your life.
Elmhurst is a liberal arts college that aims at creating educated citizens, and that's not a process that just takes 4 years or 2 years. We're invested in these students. We give our kind of heart and soul to them while they're here, and so we care if they succeed once they leave.
When students go on to graduate and go on to live amazing lives and do things personally and professionally, their fingerprints are still all over this institution in a way that helped us to become a better sense of who we are and who we as an institution want to be in the world.
We don't at Elmhurst tell students what to think, but we try to teach them how to engage with their own values to become better citizens of this country, of this world.
And that makes me proud to be a part of the community of Elmhurst.
I'm confident in our graduates because I know we've prepared them both personally and professionally. We love to see them fly the nest and flourish.
Gregory Sanger back with you here from R.A. Fagenal Hall, where at the half Elmhurst leads North Park by a score of 46-44. The Blue Jays shot 15 of 29 from the field in that first half for 52%, 7 of 16 from downtown for 44%. Very impressive shooting by the Blue Jays. Also at the charity stripe, 9 of 10 for 90%. North Park, some hot shooting themselves, 16 of 36 from the field for 44%, 9 of 21 from downtown for 43%, 3 of 4 from the free throw line for 75%. The Blue Jays with a 19-16 edge on the glass. Turnovers favoring North Park, 8 for Elmhurst, 7 for North Park. Vikings led in scoring by Victoria Perry with 15. Chantel Hairston has 14. For the Blue Jays, 3 players in double figures. Taylor Harrison with 15. Anna Klaczynski with a dozen. Kenny Matrice with 11. It is Blue Jays ball here as we open the third quarter. This is Klaczynski on the right wing. Back up top it goes to Novak. 3-pointer attempted and missed by Sheppy, and nice job to get that way out on the floor by Matrice. Ball goes into the post and it's denied by Miller. Again, whenever Harrison is in there, she has been double teamed, fronted, and the player behind her She is still the leading scorer in the ball game for the Blue Jays. 5 left on the shot clock. Matrice misses a deep three, missed by Novak, and it was airballed, so it is a shot 30-second violation. North Park ball here in the opening moments of the third quarter. This is Miller. Miller hits the cutter underneath, but it won't rattle home for Harrison. And it is rebounded by Klaczynski. Both teams coming up empty on their initial possessions of the third quarter. Ball swung around to the right wing, and the three-pointer missed by Novak. Hairston with the rebound. Hairston kicking it back out to Keene. This is Sundin. Sundin gets into the lane and then traveled. Picked up her pivot foot before her pass left her hands. Vikings attempted to trap Matrice. She got away and then found the open player. You're going to trap in the backcourt, you're going to leave somebody open, and Matrice found her. It was MC Brown for the layup to make it 48-44. This is Hairston. Hairston edging in, can't get it to go. And we're going to have a foul called on the rebound. It's on Catherine Keene, her second first team foul of the third quarter on the Vikings. Brown. The ball to Novak, back up top to Matrice. Harrison, ball swung around. This is now Matrice at the right elbow. And with 10 seconds to go, she goes into the lane and has trouble getting the ball out of her hands as help defense collapsed on her. But it will go out of bounds off of Esther Miller. Blue Jays will inbound from the corner with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Klaczynski gets the ball back, and her three-pointer attempt will not fall, but a weak side rebound for Brown, and then the floater good for Matrice. 50-44, Blue Jays have scored the first 4 points here in the third quarter. From the free throw line, Perry buries a jumper. Make it 50-46. Vikings now showing that full press, which we actually haven't seen thus far today, just the triangle press and a couple of half-court traps. And that one ruled out of bounds off the Vikings. The Vikings bench complaining that it didn't touch anybody wearing black, but it will stay with the Blue Jays. Inbounded to Matrice. Her three-pointer won't go. Rebounded by Alicia Dunlap, who's back out on the floor for the Vikings. Pass up the floor. Miller off the glass and in. Esther Miller brings North Park within 2 with 6:49 to go here in the third quarter. And Miller denying the post. Comes up with the steal. Perry to Dunlap. Dunlap hits the baby jumper. And that'll tie it up at 50. Daphne Carrillo has seen enough. She calls timeout. 6:32 to go here in the third quarter. The score, Elmhurst 50, North Park 50. Taking a look at some of the out-of-town scores around CCIW women's basketball today. 5:09 to go in the third quarter at Van Male Gymnasium up in Waukesha. We're visiting Augustana leads Carroll by a score of 47-44. Milliken again looking to clinch at least a share of the CCIW title with a win today, but they're in a fight with underdog Carthage on the home floor of the Firebirds. It's now 50-50 with 4:17 to go in the third quarter there on Carthage's home floor, and Carthage just jumped out to a 53-50 lead in that game. And again, not getting any live stats coming out of North Central today, where Illinois Wesleyan is at North Central. Vikings again showing the triangle press. And almost taken away by Miller, but Matrice got it. Matrice has a shot blocked by Keene. Did exactly what you're supposed to do when you break a press, which is go straight to the basket. But Keene there to swat the shot away. Elmhurst inbounds. This is MC Brown with it. Back up top, and she will pass it on the wing to Matrice. Matrice has her pocket pick by Hairston. Chantel Hairston off the floor looking for Perry. It will be tipped to Miller. Miller can't get the bunny to go. Rebounded by Hairston. Blazinski. This is Novak looking for Harrison. Harrison missed the fadeaway in the block. Rebounded by Hairston. Pass underneath to Dunlap. Dunlap, a shovel pass, a little too close to Hairston, and Hairston was unable to handle it. The ball taken away by the Blue Jays. Brown hits Harrison. Harrison trying something new that time. Instead of posting up, she made a cut from the high post. Took the pass and made the layup to put the Blue Jays back in front at 52-50. Dunlap lost the ball. Dunlap managed to retrieve it. Skip pass. This is Perry for three. Too strong. Rebounded underneath by Dunlap. Dunlap. And her shot partially blocked. Elmhurst comes away with it. Klaczynski. Klaczynski on the drive. The ball knocked away by Miller. And we see why she is the CCIW leader in steals. Perry passed the ball to Dunlap, who's fouled going up. She'll go to the line. That foul is on Harrison. Taylor Harrison whistled for her second foul of the contest. Timeout on the floor. We've got 4:48 remaining here in the third quarter. The score, Elmhurst 52, North Park 50. And we want to keep an eye on those out-of-town scores. That Augustana-Carroll game, which is a battle between the second-place team and the third-place team with a lot on the line there. Second-place team gets a bye for the opening round of the CCIW tournament. And right now, Augustana leading Carroll at Carroll 49-48. With 3.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. And then Milliken in a dogfight. Big Blue trying to clinch a share of the CCIW championship today, and they are trailing Carthage at Carthage 55-52 with 2:07 remaining in the third quarter. Again, we apologize. No score to report from Illinois Wesleyan at North Central, where the live stats are not working apparently. First free throw from Dunlap is good. Second one good as well, and we're back in a tie, 52 all. Vikings continue pressing, and that pass partially deflected, but Novak got to it, and a nice job to recover by Victoria Perry, running back out of the press after the Blue Jays had broken it, knocking that pass away intended for Brown in the corner. The Blue Jays to inbound from the end line. This is Brown with it, or Sheppy, I should say, with the ball. Pass from Brown underneath to Harrison, and Harrison continues to make hay in the low blocks. She now has 19, 54-52, Blue Jays lead. Hairston. Blue Jays still in the zone. Perry back out to Parker Fox. Parker Fox's leaner off the glass will go 54-54. Under 4 minutes remaining now in the third quarter here at R.A. Fagenal Hall. Klaczynski underneath. She's got Harrison. And Harrison fouled after she missed the initial toss. Got her own rebound, and Dunlap fouled her. That's her second. Team third of the quarter. Lauren Lee will replace her on the floor. Harrison's been making it work at the free throw line as well. She's a perfect 3 for 3. And apparently I jinxed her because she front rimmed that attempt. Second one rimmed out, and it's rebounded by Hairston. The Vikings now have a chance to take the lead here. Parker Fox. This is Perry back to Parker Fox. Esther Miller, we're going to have a reach and foul called. See there on the replay. Miller stepping in. And Brown getting her across the arm. That is the third on Brown. Second team foul on the Blue Jays here in the third quarter. Perry with it. Perry lost the ball and couldn't get it back. Taken away while on her back by Klaczynski. Nice defensive play by the Elmhurst freshman. Brown, ball swung around to the right side, and the three-pointer attempt by Sheppy, no good. Rebounded by Brown, but through the hands of Harrison. Another instance of a interior pass thrown too hard to a teammate who wasn't ready for it. Lee back up top to Victoria Perry. Tied at 54, 2:40 to go in the third quarter. Hairston. This is Miller. Her jumper no good. Collecting the rebound is Novak for the Blue Jays. Both these teams over their CCIW season scoring averages, and we've still got 2:20 to go in the third quarter. But a very unexpectedly offensive-minded game. And another bucket there for Harrison. And Harrison having words with Miller after that made basket. Perry loses the ball underneath. And that is a good no call because Harrison never moved a muscle. Perry just ran into her, bounced off, and lost control of the ball out of bounds. Minute 58 to go here in the third quarter. Elmhurst 56, North Park 54. Klaczynski bringing it up against Miller. Here's the ball to Novak. And the cutter will send it out to Klaczynski on the wing. She can't hit the three. Rebounded by Perry. Perry for three. Can't get it to fall. Rebounded by Klaczynski. Krasinski playing a terrific game today for the Blue Jays. Into the forecourt, this is Novak, guarded by Parker Fox. Parker Fox will be whistled for a hand check. That's her second, team third. McKnight and Lee and Keene now into the contest for North Park. Pass underneath, and that was a travel. Extra step taken by Jackie Hurst before she put up that reverse layup attempt. Minute 10 to go here in the third stanza. Blue Jays lead the Vikings by 2. McKnight, top of the key, gives it to Hairston, and her 8-footer is good to tie it up yet again. Under a minute to go now in the quarter. Krasinski ran into a trap and lost the ball. Hairston had it knocked away from behind by Hurst, but got it back. 12-second difference between shot clock and game clock. McKnight, pass underneath. Miller back out to McKnight. Her jumper from 17 feet out is good. And North Park takes its first lead of the third quarter at 58-56. Novak. Shot clock turned off. 14 seconds to go in the third quarter. Novak's going to dribble it down and then get a step on Lee, but Lee with the shot block from behind. And the Blue Jays will inbound from the end line with under 6 seconds to go in the quarter. Up top it goes to Sheppy. Into the post to Hurst. Hurst can't get it to go at the buzzer. And so 3 quarters are in the books here at R.A. Fagano Hall. The score, North Park 58 and Elmhurst 56. Look at the team stats from 3 quarters in. Elmhurst now 20 of 45 from the field for 44%. They've cooled off a bit from long range. They're 7 of 23 from beyond the arc for 30%. 9 of 12 from the free throw line for 75%. The Vikings 22 of 49 from the field for 45%. Vikings still shooting a season best 39% from beyond the arc, 9 of 23, and they are 5 of 6 from the free throw line for 83%. Decided advantage on the boards for the Blue Jays, 30-24. But turnovers favoring North Park, as the Blue Jays have coughed it up 14 times to North Park's 11. Leading scorer for North Park, Victoria Perry with 17. Chantel Hairston has 16 for the Blue Jays. Taylor Harrison leads all scorers with 21 points. She's joined at double figures by Katie Patrice with 13 points, and Anna Klasinski, who has a dozen. Vikings have the ball to open the fourth quarter here. Keene. Pass underneath. Miller's reverse layup won't go, but it's rebounded by Hairston. Perry swings it over to McKnight. McKnight into the lane. Gives the ball to Miller. And Miller hits the bottom of the rim with her layup attempt out of bounds to the Blue Jays. Latrice back on the floor for Elmhurst, replacing Novak. Ball back to Brown, and that one knocked out of bounds by Miller. Krasinski passes it over the timeline, and This will be kicked out. The three-point attempt won't go for Matrice, and we have a foul on the rebound, and I believe that would be on Harrison. It is on Harrison, her third. Blue Jays star now in foul trouble with 3. McKnight brings it over the timeline. Hairston to Miller. Miller guarded by Klaczynski. She'll give it up to Hairston. Team back to Hairston. Hairston looking for a cutter. This is Miller with it. Miller on the drive. Miller pulls up and hits the runner from 8 feet out. The Vikings take a 60-56 lead as we go under 9 minutes remaining in the ballgame. Harrison handling the ball at midcourt, which is dangerous, but she got away with it. Matrice. Ball swung around to the far wing to Sheppy. Sheppy thought about the three instead. Drives baseline off the side of the backboard. Harrison got the rebound and is fouled. And that's on McKnight, her second. Team first for the Vikings here in the fourth quarter. So that will put Harrison back at the line, where she is 3 of 5 this afternoon. First one rimmed out. So she made her first 3 free throws, and she's missed free throws 4, 5, and 6. Snaps that string. That free throw makes it 60-57 Vikings with 8.5 remaining. McKnight. Elmhurst again into the 2-3. They've been mixing it up throughout the third and fourth quarters. Skip pass. McKnight drives baseline, gives it back to Hairston. Hairston too strong off the back of the rim, and a foul called on Hairston on the rebound. And that is her third. Second team foul. Matrice brings it over the timeline. Pass inside from Sheppy to Harrison. Harrison fouled almost immediately as she touched it there in the blocks. And that's McKnight picking up her third, team third. She'll exit, and Lauren Lee will come in to be a part of that tandem trying to control Harrison. And Harrison turning around, going up with it, and being fouled. And this time I believe it is on Catherine Keene. That's her third, team fourth. So the Blue Jays feeding their star in the post and accumulating fouls on the Vikings. Harrison hits the first free throw. And got the second to go as well, and Elmhurst reduces the North Park lead to 60-59 as we go under 8 minutes remaining in regulation. Lee hands the ball to Hairston. Hairston. This is Miller underneath the basket. Miller foul going up. Foul is on Matrice, her second, team second, so that will put Esther Miller at the line. Miller too strong on the first attempt. Can't get the second to go either, but Lauren Lee got the rebound. Deep three attempted by Keene off the back of the rim, and another offensive rebound, this one courtesy of Chantel Hairston. This is Hairston with it. Hairston to Miller. Miller can't get it to fall. Finally, oh, the ball taken right out of the hands of Harrison by Miller. Miller, fourth time was the charm as she puts it off the window and makes it 62-59 North Park. So although Elmhurst has dominated the boards, North Park with 3 offensive rebounds in that sequence. And we have a whistle here. And that is going to be on Lauren Lee, her second. And Elmhurst is into the bonus. Elmhurst will be shooting free throws for the final 7 minutes of regulation here. As that one is front rimmed by Taylor Harrison. Second one good. North Park 62, Elmhurst 60. Lauren Lee on the right elbow, back up top, Miller. Miller driving the lane. We're going to have a hand check call. Kendall Sheppy. Harrison is out, and Hurst into the game now for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays in the man-to-man. And the cutter here, Victoria Perry got it to go. This will be an and one. Great job by Hairston to hit the cutting Perry. Fouls on MC Brown, that's her 4th. Hairston completes the three-point play to make it 65-60 North Park. I said Hairston, I meant Perry. Another steal by the Vikings. This is Keene with it, giving it to Perry. Victoria Perry on the drive from the baseline. Can't get it to go. Miller with a putback attempt, won't go. Ball batted around, picked up by Katie Matrice. Matrice get the ball to Klaczynski. Klaczynski was on fire from three-point range, but she hasn't really looked for that shot here in the second half. And this is Hurst with it. Her spin move in the lane. Got it to go in one. That was nicely done by the sophomore out of suburban Detroit. Rochester, Michigan, to be precise. And foul is on Keene. That's her 4th. So foul trouble starting to mount now for both teams as Hurst will attempt to complete the three-point play. No good. Rebounded by Hairston. Lee gets the cutter again, and this time Victoria Perry will make it 67-62. It's the same play that Hairston got the ball to Perry for the bucket about a minute ago. On the drive, Matrice tried to dish it underneath, and she's called for an offensive foul. Miller had herself planted just outside the charge circle. And that was foul number 3 on Katie Matrice. Halfway through the 4th quarter, North Park leads by 5. And this is Lee with it. Miller swings the ball around. On the drive is Perry. Is that a continuation? It is a continuation. That is the call from official Johnny Jackson. Stephanie Carrillo not happy with that call. Now she's going to take a timeout here. The foul was on Matrice. So we come back to live action. It will be North Park's Victoria Perry attempting to complete a three-point play with NPU up on top of Elmhurst by a score of 69-62 with 4:55 to go here in regulation. Again, checking out what else is transpiring in CCIW women's basketball this afternoon. Carroll starting to take control at home against Augustana. The Pioneers now lead 74-63 in what had been a seesaw affair. 3:09 remaining in that contest up in suburban Milwaukee. Milliken has been in a fight all afternoon with Carthage, but now the Big Blues starting to pull away. 71-64, Milliken over Carthage with 3:23 remaining at Tarbell Arena in Kenosha. Again, a Milliken victory clinches a share of the conference title for the Big Blue. I believe the Illinois Wesleyan North Central game may be a late start, which is why we're not, and indeed it is a late start, and that's why we don't have live stats from there. As Parker, I'm sorry, I'll get this one right. Perry could not complete the three-point play, but offensive foul at the other end and illegal screen called on Harrison, and that is Harrison's fourth. Correction, they called that on Sheppy, so that's Sheppy's third. Perry pulls up from 16 and got it to fall. Got the shooter's roll on that one, and North Park has opened up a 9-point lead. And a steal, under the basket. That one hit the back of the backboard. A great play by Hairston, but she had to go out of bounds to save it, and she hit the bottom of the backboard. And the shot clock was reset, so apparently the officials agreeing that North Park did have possession on that steal. They have to call it a steal now. Blazinski skip pass. And we have a whistle off the ball. Three seconds called on Taylor Harrison. So another Blue Jays turnover. 4 minutes remaining. The Vikings looking to get what would be the first double-digit lead of the game for either team. Perry, skip pass, Lee to Miller. Skip pass right back to Perry. Perry finds Hairston. Hairston's turnaround, no good. Rebounded by MC Brown. This is Sheppy with it. Sheppy underneath. Harrison kicked it out, but kicked it out a little too quickly, as Brown did not get to the spot. And the ball is thrown away. We have a timeout on the floor. 3:34 remaining. The score, North Park 71, Elmhurst 62. Let me give you a game reset here. Each team is in the bonus. The arrow favors Elmhurst in the event of a tied ball. Blue Jays have one timeout remaining. The Vikings have three in terms of personal fouls. Catherine Keene has 4 for North Park. Chantel Hairston, Alicia Dunlap have 3 apiece for the Blue Jays. 4 on MC Brown, 3 apiece on Taylor Harrison, Katie Matrice, and Kendall Sheppy. I've said this several times already. I'm going to say it again. A very, very unexpected game here today. I stress that these are two teams that have really struggled scoring the basketball this season, and that has not been a problem at all this afternoon. Elmhurst, which is averaging 49 points a game in CCIW play, already at 62. North Park, averaging only 52 in CCIW play, is up to 71. Both teams with a lot of great three-point shooting in that first half. As Elmhurst is now showing press. Keene up the floor to Miller as the Vikings break the press, and they'll go into their half-court set. Keene, 10 left on the shot clock. Keene had it go off of her foot, and it'll be Elmhurst ball. Brown inbounds to Matrice. Blazinski on the right wing. Back up top to Sheppy. And that one knocked out of bounds by Perry, who was jumping the passing lane. Ball to be inbounded now by Brown. This is Blazinski back to Brown. Brown for three. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Harrison off the glass and in. 71-64. Harrison, 25 points on the afternoon. This is Keene. Back to Hairston. Hairston for McKnight. McKnight is tied up, and the arrow belongs to Elmhurst. Blue Jays have been able to turn over the Vikings twice now in the forecourt since that last timeout. This is Sheppy back up top to Klaczynski. Kicked out on the wing for three. It won't go from a trace, but right there to put it back in is Sheppy. And North Park head coach Andy Radenkovich has seen enough. She calls timeout. 2:28 remaining here in the ballgame. The score: North Park 71 and Elmhurst 66. I want to invite you to stay with us for the second half of this afternoon CCIW doubleheader. It will be the Elmhurst men and the North Park men squaring off. Tip-off scheduled for 4:15 or 1/2 hour following the conclusion of this ball game. Floor for North Park, Perry, Hairston, Lee, Miller, and Keene. On the floor for Elmhurst, Klaczynski, Harrison, Brown, Sheppy, and Matrice. This is Lee with it. Back to Hairston. Miller. Miller drives the lane. Miller got the layup to go. 73-66. Miller now in double figures with 11. Klaczynski. And a foul's going to be called on Keene, and that'll be 5 on her. So Catherine Keene fouls out of the game with 7 points. And this will be Aaliyah Parker-Fox checking in to replace her. So Klaczynski steps up to the charity stripe, and a Klaczynski 1 for 1. But misses that initial free throw. Second one is pure. 73-67 now in favor of North Park. Press still on for the Blue Jays, and that ball stolen by Klaczynski. As Miller didn't get enough mustard on the pass. And Miller accounts for it by stealing the ball out of midair off the Sheppy pass. And Hairston's going to work some clock here as we go under a minute and a half. Now the ball in the hands of Perry. Vikings going to work it all the way down if they can. Lee had to go to the floor to get that one back. And we have a timeout on the floor for an injury as Klaczynski hit the ground hard. She's holding her right wrist. And the training staff is going to come out and look at her. While that is, and she's up on her feet and walking off now while we're waiting for the officials to bring us back into live play. We'll see if we can track down some more scores for you. Now we're going to go right back to live play here. North Park inbounding. This is Hairston with it. 2 left on the shot clock. Hairston's runner won't go, but just before the buzzer sounded, she was fouled. That foul is charged to Novak. That's her first, so that will put Hairston at the line. Hairston hits the first. Hairston with one of her better offensive showings of the season. She hits the 2 free throws. She now has 18 points. And the Vikings lead is 8 with 1:10 to go here in the ball game. Blue Jays beat the press. Sheppy back to Novak. Blue Jays really don't have time to pass it around too much. They got to get the ball up and at the basket, and that's what Novak does. Our rainbow ends up short from beyond the arc. Rebounded by Hairston. Quickly up the floor to Miller. Miller didn't handle it cleanly and then lost the ball to Sheppy. Here comes Matrice. Matrice is going to back out. Stepping in is Novak. Back out to Sheppy. Her three-pointer rimmed around and came out, rebounded by Hairston. 20 seconds to go in the ball game, and a desperation foul there on the part of MC Brown. So that will put Hairston back at the line. That was her 5th, so Brown fouls out of the game. Without having scored. First free throw attempt rims out for Chantel Hairston. Junior guard out of Proviso East will make the second. And the score 76-67, another timeout on the floor called by Tethny Carrillo. And that'll give us a chance to once again take a look at some of the other scores in CCIW women's basketball this afternoon. They've gone final up in Waukesha, Wisconsin, as host Carroll comes back to defeat Augustana 78-73, and Carroll consolidating its grip on second place with that win. But the Pioneers are not going to get any closer to first place because Milliken, which got a battle from host Carthage this afternoon, ended up prevailing in Kenosha by a score of 79-70. So the top two teams in the league both picking up wins this afternoon. As the ball is inbounded to Sheppy. Sheppy nowhere to go with it. He's going to hand the ball. And it comes back out. Sheppy's attempt at a three won't go. Rebounded by Hairston, and Elmhurst is not going to foul. North Park is going to dribble it out and walk off the floor with a 76-67 victory. So North Park snaps its 8-game losing streak with a road win here today at R.A. Fagenhall Hall. The Vikings improve on the season to 4-10 in CCIW play and keep their slender hopes for getting into the CCIW tournament alive. The Vikings now 8-15 on the campaign. Elmhurst falls to 1-13 in CCIW play, 3-19 overall. Taking a look at the final stats from this contest. Elmhurst shot 23 of 55 from the field for 42%. The Blue Jays, who were lighting it up from beyond the arc in the first half, cooled off considerably in that second half. 7 of 29 for the day for 24% from long range for the Blue Jays. 14 of 21 from the free throw line for 67%. North Park 29 of 64 from the field for 45%. The Vikings shot very well from three-point range, which is not a characteristic of this North Park team. They have struggled from beyond the arc all season. 9 of 24 for 38% on the day, and the Vikings 9 of 14 from the free throw line for 64%. Rebounding battle was won by Elmhurst 38-34. Offensive rebounds even at 11 apiece. Turnovers, however, favoring the Vikings, as Elmhurst coughed it up 20 times, North Park 16 times. Looking at the individual stats, leading the Blue Jays in indeed all scorers was Taylor Harrison, a grad student from Aurora, with a fantastic afternoon. 27 points on 10 of 15 shooting from the field and 7 of 10 from the free throw line. 27 and 10, so a double-double for Taylor Harrison today. And she was joined in double figures today by Katie Matrice and Anna Klasinski, who each scored 13 points in the losing cause for the Blue Jays. The Vikings were paced by Victoria Perry, who had 26 on the day. Chantel Hairston, a double-double, 19 points, 11 rebounds, leading the Vikings in the latter category. She also had 3 steals on the day. And Esther Miller, the other Viking in double figures, she had 11. Well, that'll do it for us here on Blue Jay TV for this contest. Again, want to remind you that coming up at 4:15, it will be the men's version of North Park and Elmhurst. We hope you join us for that contest. Till then, this is Gregory Sager once more reporting the final score here from R.A. Fagenhall Hall. North Park 76, Elmhurst 67. So long, and have a great weekend, everybody.